You're still watching SABC News at prime time. The mood in Harare was subdued, but businesses opened and employees turned up for work in defiance of a call by social media group #Tajamuka to stay home in a show of civil disobedience.
Well, discontent north of our border over President Robert Mugabe has spilled over into violent street protests in Zimbabwe. Today's Shutdown Zimbabwe campaign was a call to end alleged corruption. Social media group Tajamuka also wants the government to scrap its restrictions on the imports of basic goods.
Opposition leader Morgan Tsvangirai tweeted his support for the Shutdown Zimbabwe initiative. He urged Zimbabweans to play their part in the struggle for democracy and stay home. But it wasn't to be. Public transport has ferried workers into the central business district and businesses slowly opened their doors. But vendors say that traffic was subdued as customers shunned the city centre. He says, "I've only sold $5 worth of business so far. I would have expected to sell goods worth $30 today from customers who would have been paid." Riot police patrolled the streets, arresting one man, and he denounced President Mugabe as they carried him away. But as Zimbabwe has more than an 80% unemployment rate, street vendors say they're there because they struggle to make ends meet.
I decided to come because there is no job. I only survive with this. Selling phones, selling everything. So there is no option. No one can bring me any food.
Amid questions about whether the social media campaigns to mobilize against government are running out of steam, political analysts weighed in on the possible reasons why the last two shutdowns organized by the #movements have not been successful. He believes the groups lack the structures that political parties have to effectively mobilize.
The decisive power block in that successful stairway was the public sector and the informal sector who were affected by structural instrument 64, not this flag. This flag only publicized.
Over the last few months, Zimbabwe has witnessed violent protests calling for President Mugabe to step down. And the calls from within his own party are also growing. But Ruhanya says without the cohesion amongst all these groups, the odds of a resignation are low.
The state is intact. There is elite discohesion, authoritarian erosion, but not to the extent of reaching a tipping point.
This as more protests are planned. The opposition say they failed to submit their petition for electoral reforms last Friday after police broke up their court-sanctioned march. They plan to march to the Electoral Commission this Friday. Shingai Nyoka, SABC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.